All right. Welcome in, Chicago sports fans. This is just another year Bulls back at it again after a big old Bulls W. Um, we kind of threw this together a little quick, so don't have the banners up yet, but I can tell you what the Bulls won 124 to 123 over the New York Knicks. It was exciting. It was it's made my heart beat fast. There's definitely a word for that I can't think of. Stressful. That's probably just a better word. And it was just fun overall. So, Nick, will I throw some banners in? What do you think, man? What a game!
Big win for the squad. It's always fun to win in New York. I think everyone can relate to that. Whether you're a Chicago Bulls fan or not, I'm sure there are nobody. I'm sure there is nobody tuning in that isn't a Bulls fan. But if there were, you can relate. Fun to beat the Knicks. I know we had some players looking forward to this game. Josh Giddey, of all people, said he was very much looking forward to playing in the Garden. I guess he has three triple doubles in the Garden, which is tied with Larry Bird and Oscar Robertson, which is wild. Karl Anthony Towns, just he. I mean, we got to give it up to him before we get into the Bulls here. I mean, obviously, screw that guy, but like he had 46 points, I think, which was the most a Knicks player has ever scored against the Bulls before. So that was a feat. We robbed Jalen Brunson. Jalen's shot was inside of the basket and still rimmed out. So we won the game, man. Zach Lavine, 31. He was popping off at one point. I don't know how many points he had in a row, but at one point he was probably, I don't know, what would you say, maybe like 4 possessions in a row he scored within like the first couple seconds on the shot clock. So that was pretty cool. He was just popping off. Yeah, huge win against a solid Knicks team. We were kind of matched up record-wise with them. And now we move on to 5-7, and that is 3 games more than the Bucks have won this year. So
that's a fact.
Pretty good for the boys.
Yeah, and so they were showing. I mean, obviously, if you're watching the Bulls, if you're watching basketball, I assume you're looking at you guys are out there looking at the standings. So the Bulls, I believe it was like 10th. They were 10th, 11th, whatever, coming into it at 4-7. But they were 1.5 games back of the Knicks, who were, tied, but technically in third place at 5-6 or whatever. So we are officially a half game back for the 3 seed right now. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, ladies and gentlemen.
Pretty impressive.
That's what parity's all about. And honestly, parity normally sucks, and you're seeing it because the Bulls are a half game out of the 3 seed early in the season. Obviously, no one's really separating themselves yet totally. I mean, besides the Cavs, 11-0, whatever. But either way, I think it was just this was a win that the Bulls needed because, and actually we'll get right into it with the banners. The Bulls
partly because they were up by 25 points at one point.
Needed to do that. And here it is. Bulls blow, big lead. The boys were up, what? It was like 22, 25, something, somewhere in there. Low 20s was, I think, the highest it got.
Yeah.
And I know I kind of, not stopped paying attention, but it was kind of just like, oh, nice, cool, little, basketball on in the background almost. Because 20-plus points. I mean, the Knicks did not look like they were ready to come back. I think it was at one point, Karl Anthony Towns had 20, Jalen Brunson had 18, Mikal Bridges. Yeah, Bridges had 8, and then no one else had more than 3 points. So it was a clear drubbing, a clear beatdown, until it wasn't. Nick, thoughts?
Some team ball, dude. This was after a game against where we played the Cavaliers real tough. I was at the game, not to brag, and that was probably one of the more, for a loss, it was one of the better games that I've been to in a while. After, felt like every single person on the team was in double digits in that game. That was pretty impressive. So the Knicks had quite the opposite effect at the beginning here. Um, Obviously, Karl Anthony Towns put on a clinic against Vooch, but Vooch had his moments as well, putting Big Cat on some skates.
Hmm.
So Vooch continues to play pretty decent, um, better than he did last year, looking good for. I mean, I don't know who would take on his contract at 34 years old, but he's probably one of our best trade assets right now, I'd say, at the moment. And then Patrick Williams, he played great. He just can't seem to get 20 points. He had 18, and he just can't get over the hump there. But he's been playing really well, man. He's been very efficient from three, catch and shoot specifically. And if he can be a good 3-and-D guy, I think like there's not a whole lot else we can ask for at this point. We've done the whole song and dance of, well, this was our number 4 pick. Like we need more, we need more. So, at some point, we're going to have to be realistic about it. But he was 6 for 9, 3 for 4 from three. That's as efficient as it gets. Vooch, another double double. I think last game against the Cavs was the first game he didn't have a double double in quite some time. So he's been a machine on that front. So shout out to Vooch, and then obviously Lavine, 31. He was 12 for 17 from the field, so he was automatic. He was money. Io had a good game as well. He played 25 minutes, which is I think around what he's been playing this year, but just super efficient. 5 for 8 from the field, 2 for 3 from three, with 16 points total, and 6 assists as well. So Josh Giddey had a terrible game, I will say. And this was the one that he was supposed to play really well in, since he does well in the Garden. That wasn't the case. He balled in the Garden on the Thunder a couple times, but hey, we didn't need it. We had Zach Lavine, our star. It's good to have him back. Clearly, we're not going to win much without him. So hopefully he stays healthy, and we will have more games like this. We actually won the first half for once, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the Bulls, we started out. It was real difficult for us in just all of the first quarters, really so far this year. But the last couple, they've come out ready to play, and and then we're playing at the highest pace. I don't know exactly how this is measured. Maybe it's just like plays or possessions per game or something like that. But I guess we're number 1 in pace. So we were right to be like, this is quite a different situation. It's like easy to contrast after playing DeMar ball, right, for a couple of years, but it turns out it is a complete 360. So we were on the money about that. So it wasn't just a gut feeling. So playing at a high pace again makes it fun to watch. And if we can actually hit threes, like if we can shoot at a 30% clip from three, we're going to be in a lot of these games, man. And there's going to be some heartbreakers for sure. We thought that was coming, the way Jalen was playing and the way Jalen plays against the Bulls. I thought this was. I told Tony this because I saw it earlier in the game, but last year we played the Knicks 4 times and Jalen averaged 37 points per game, which is absurd. So he's got our number. He loves playing the Bulls, right? He's a Chicago guy. Stevenson represent. So it was good. It was good to put him away. It's always fun to beat Tibbs, especially with Zach playing. I don't know. I don't know if there's any merit to this, but it just feels like there couldn't be 2 guys that would get along worse than Tibbs and Zach Lavine. And I think it was proven at one point. So it's always funny to see them dap each other up. But really have nothing else to say. Just
it's one guy that wants him to play hard and one guy that doesn't want to play hard for himself. That's just
exactly.
natural.
It's like they're doing the blow by, like the football coaches. That's it's like a handshake, but they're on the run. So funny to see. Big game, in the Eastern Conference, which is a terrible conference so far. So, like you said, only 3.5 games back, or is that what you said?
Yep. Or half game back
from third.
The Knicks.
Because that's how brutal it is. Cavs are sitting lonely at the top, and then Celtics are all right as well. But after that, it's a toss up. So hey, why not be a part of the game? Huh?
Yeah. The next time we see the Knicks. And we'll get into the end of the game, of course, because there's some stuff to hit on here. But just kind of to piggyback on what Nick said about Lavine, or there are a couple of guys there still. Yeah, a couple. At least Lavine loving playing against Tibbs or loving to stick it to Tibbs, whatever.
Totally.
Uh, January 4th, which I believe was officially announced as Derrick Rose night, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's official. I don't think they said they're retiring his number or anything. I think it's just honor him night. Uh, so this was big. Otherwise, we would have had a stew with losing to the Knicks for what, a month and a half, almost just under a month and a half. So, however, we didn't lose to the Knicks. Let's not forget it, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulls fought back. The
Bulls
Bulls
fight
fought
back.
back. Nick, when you were going through the stats, I know we mentioned who had a big game and everything. Io hit a couple huge free throws and a big three, at least one down right at the end. Obviously, like you were saying, we play at the fastest pace, and boy, were we playing at the fastest pace, especially at the end. It was back. I mean, Adam Amin and Stacey King were out of breath calling it as the boys are running up and down. But Io was clutch. It wasn't crazy. He didn't take over the game, but he did enough. Kept the Bulls in it, which good things happen when you stay in these games. Then you see guys like Coby. Obviously, Zach was great, but then you see guys like Coby come up huge. Was he fouled? I say yes. Am I biased? Absolutely not, ladies and gentlemen. But he was obviously clearly disgustingly, viciously fouled by Josh Hart. No
Yep.
dispute. So he earned those 3 free throws, knocked them down. Never a doubt. Didn't hit the rim. Nothing. No nervousness. No nothing.
Yep.
Great win. Josh Hart. Also, if we want to talk about that for a second, hilarious 15-second sequence where he's, stirring things up, sticking his hand in people's faces, kind of, oh,
Yep.
come on, bro, you're messing with me, when he's clearly the one messing with everyone. Then
Yes.
immediately commits the worst foul of the game. Maybe of the Knicks season. I haven't watched a lot of Knicks. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was very funny.
That was very funny. And Tony and I talked about this a little bit. Josh Hart is a guy that you would love to have on your own team, but um, not super fun to play against because he gets in their heads. He does. He's very good at it. He's a funny dude. He has that podcast with Jalen Brunson, and I think he's hilarious, and I think he's great, but he's not fun to play against. One quick, on a serious note, I do again want to shout out Patrick Williams. I know I read off his stats, but just been playing with that aggression. I think that we've been looking for. Like, I don't know, of course, if we're ever going to get the output that we wanted from him, whatever that is. Well, I guess 20 points per game or something would be kind of nice. But now, we know who he is at this point, but he impressed, I think, in the past couple games here, where he was not afraid to take a spot up 3, or drive to the rim, a little putback dunk he had. I mean, there's just these things that we know that Pat can do that he hasn't always done out of just pure maybe timidness. I don't know exactly what the deal is. It is the NBA. I know it's not. He can't literally do anything he wants unless he's a generational talent, which I don't think he is at this point. But Billy alluded to it. Super happy with his play, and just his aggressive nature in these past couple of games has been great to see. Whether that's on defense or offense. I mean, just taking the ball into his own hands, and like I said, hitting some spot up 3s, and then obviously playing good defense is very valuable in this league now. Little 3-and-D. So he's really been excelling in that role, and I do want to take my hat off to Mr. P. Will.
He did have 2 tough little moments near the end. I believe in order it was, and it wasn't necessarily his fault. Honestly, he was put in a bad position on both. I will give him that. The Bulls were just swinging the ball around. Coby had, maybe it wasn't an open layup, but it was a lightly contested, probably, because he got up and he got up quick, and the guy didn't really jump with him, and he decided to kick it out to the paw with, I think, like a second left on the shot clock. Who had to throw it up? Just maybe, I can't even remember. It might have grazed the rim, but I think he just straight up airballed it, which was a tough shot to miss, especially down near the end when it was back and forth, when it was close. And then he did get put on skates a little bit and blown by Jalen Brunson near the end. But again, that was a tough switch. That was Lavine, I think it was Lavine on him. You gotta know. What does Stacey King always say? Know your personnel, KYP. Know your
Yep.
personnel. You can't have Patrick Williams out there guarding Jalen Brunson ISO. Like you got to do something. I don't know what the answer is. I'm not a coach. Maybe you just do a late switch and you hope that whoever you switched on to doesn't fire up a three. But
I
that you
guess.
can't be having that.
I don't
Or
know.
fight through the screen. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know if we have. I mean, who would you rather have on?
Well, obviously that's a great question. I don't know, but
I just don't.
it's
I
tough having
mean,
a
yes,
four
yeah,
on a PG. A little point
yeah.
guard.
No, I know, and it'd be ideal to not have your four power forward on one of the best point guards in the league as the best matchup. But I almost think that it was. I don't know if there would be anyone that could do a better job on him, especially when Jalen's in his bag like that. Like you're going to. There's only so much you're going to be able to do, and I thought Pat. I don't know. I didn't think he really got put on skates. I mean, he got put maybe in a blender. We'll say maybe just a little blender. Um, but yeah, I don't really trust. I don't trust Giddy on him. I don't. I mean, maybe Kobe's been playing okay on D. I mean, even Zach's been playing all right on defense too. But I just don't trust him in the clutch. Um, and if we're gonna talk about some tough moments, we got to mention too Lavine just continuing to turn the ball over by leaving his feet and not having a plan. I mean, it's just I know it sounds very high school basketball coach to mention, but he just does not have a plan when he leaves his feet. And that, I mean, you get benched for that. You get benched for that if you're a no talent player like ourselves. That you are not seeing the hardwood after that kind of thing. So obviously not the case when it's your star, but really tough to see, especially when it could have gone either way. You could have pointed the finger right to him if we lost, even though he led the team in points and had a great game, shooting efficiency off the charts. So that would be nice to eliminate. I think, even Coby, we have to worry about doing that. Patrick as well. They're just a little bit younger, and to be honest, for right or wrong, I cut them more slack. With Zach, he's almost 30, and he's the 100. He's the 200 whatever the fuck $1 million man, and he's the face of our franchise. So it's tough to see that coming from your best player.
I think
But
where it also is tougher seeing Zach do it is because don't get me wrong, Kobe's a great finisher at the rim, very athletic, whatever. But when he's going up versus when Zach's going up, and we know what Zach can do when he goes hard to the rim, even on a tough contest, we know he can finish. And when obviously it's one thing when he's like fading away from the basket and whatever, but if instead of doing that, if he just went to the rim every time, at least he's getting fouled half the time. It's the NBA. He's probably going to get fouled, or he's going to finish, or hey, you miss a shot, whatever. You're going to shoot 50% for the night, or not 50%, probably 40. But there's definitely. I can't. My high school basketball coach would have ripped me down by my shirt if I was out there jumping, leaving my feet in my 2 minutes I played a game. There's got to be something better than that. Yeah, Kobe definitely does it. I feel like Kobe is a little more, I don't know if successful is the word, intentional maybe with it, where I think like he definitely turns it over, but
he also
to be a little bit more of a plan.
Into like a pretty sick assist or something where he is in the air before he makes the pass, but I think it's clear that he was in playmaking mode, whereas with Zach, it's like he's going with the plan that, hey, I'm going to score this. And then halfway in the air, he's like, wait, maybe someone else should do it. And it's just it's not great. It's a bad look for your best player. But again, when you have someone that talented, there's going to be some volatility there, right? Too, is like, there's not a lot of dudes that can float in the air like that and have enough time to even make a poor decision. I mean, he's an insane athlete, but it's especially just knowing that we're not going to be blowing anyone out. I mean, that could mean the whole game, if we're doing that. So
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, especially like you're saying. I mean, we were blowing them out too. I mean, we put up the banner before this. The Bulls blew a big lead, and obviously, you do it once, okay, 2 points, but you're up 20. Okay, now you're only up 18. But then as the things start to pile up, you're not the only guy on the court making mistakes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just the little things, just the little things. Getting a little nitpicky, but if it was a 20-point game, it wouldn't matter as much. But it it
right.
literally came down to, again, a vicious foul by Josh Hart, undisputable foul. But had it been a disputed foul, I mean, that some could claim the Bulls got bailed out and maybe didn't deserve to win
Yeah,
after letting him come back. So that you just want to take all that off the table. You want to leave no doubt. Foot on the neck, squish, or whatever the next step is there. Finish him off. I don't know. And yeah, leave no doubt, baby. But they
check
left
it
some
out.
doubt. They for sure left some doubt. But a Bulls win is a Bulls win.
Yep,
Doesn't go down as a little asterisk. Well, it was kind of they blew a lead and blah, blah. Nope, that's just a win
that's a
in the
dub
win column.
at,
Another
at the Garden, and
whatever.
an away win at that.
At the Garden, where Carl Anthony Towns scored the most points he'd ever a Knicks player had ever scored versus the Bulls. I don't think it was just at MSG. I think it was just in general, right? Do you remember that
Yeah,
stat?
no, it was. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It was just a Knicks player. Yeah, which I know that's a lot of points, but it's like it kind of speaks to how bad the Knicks franchise is.
Yeah, I would have
And
thought maybe Mello or something in those
yeah,
years where we were both kind of good. I would have thought maybe a 50 ball, but Ewing, it makes sense. Just getting locked up, D'd up by the '90s Bulls. Um,
I mean, honestly, man, I'm surprised it wasn't just Jalen Brunson. To be honest, like just last year. I mean, so that was like shocking within itself as a guy that averaged almost 40 a game um, versus the Bulls in the entire 2023-2024 season. So, um, yeah, man, that's really all I got. Campaign, I hate when he does well. He was super efficient. He didn't miss a shot. He helped them. he helped their comeback there quite a bit off the bench. My guy Dalen Terry was 1 for 1. Hit a sick three. That was super fun to see. Hit a free throw as well. Love Dalen. I love Dalen Terry a lot. We got the NBA Cup coming up, Tony.
yes.
So we'll end it on that. So this Friday, we're going to play the Cavs again, who are still undefeated. I reckon. Let me see. Yes, they are 13-0.
Have they played? So is this the Cavs' first game in the NBA Cup? Do you know that?
I
Okay.
believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it started on Tuesday, and neither the Bulls or the Cavs played on that day. And then for some reason, today, Wednesday, there is no cup. These are just normal games. And tomorrow, normal games. There's only one. Just Mavs Jazz tomorrow. Interesting. But Friday, the NBA Cup comes back with group play. We got the Heat Pacers, Magic 76ers. We got some bangers in there. Bulls Cavs. So look out, and I'm serious. Like look out, watch your eyes. Like the courts are brutal. Actually, put on like seizure preventing glasses or something. If that's the thing.
I think they have those. Yeah, we'll link that below. Yeah, so the Emirates NBA Cup 2024 rolls off the tongue. We all know it by that.
Yep.
The Cavs, they're 11-0 in the NBA season. Whatever, they're 0-0. They are winless right now in the NBA Cup. Yes, so are the Bulls, but hey, that just means we're even, baby. I've always said it don't mean a thing without the cup. That's, I think, something we've all said as Bulls fans. So what if we just went on a little run and won the whole damn thing,
Why not?
Just
Why
a
not
little
us?
run.
Why not us?
Yeah.
Why not us? That would be really awesome. I'd be pro that. And beating the Cavs at home for their first loss of the season would be fun too. So I don't know, man. I mean, just sounds like they should win, right? I mean, if we're saying all this stuff.
I think so. And especially because the Lakers won it last year. So it almost is like a little, it's not real legitimacy, but there's enough people that will at least pretend it's legitimate. I mean, it is, of course, the Emirates NBA Cup 2024 is legitimate until we lose, and then it's not. But yeah, like if the Pacers had won, it's like okay, that they probably wouldn't have even done it again this year. The Pacers won the in-season tournament, as they called it last year, then rebranded again to the Emirates NBA Cup 2024. This matters so much. This is the only thing I'm going to care about until Friday and until probably about the end of the first quarter when we're down 15.
Yep.
But that, yeah, so I'll care. And yeah, we'll probably, Justin will probably do a live stream after that game, break it all down for you guys.
Yep, I'm
But
sure.
for now, I mean, it just feels good to beat New York. New York sucks. They can't win a World Series. Their football teams suck.
And they don't have
Obviously,
alleyways.
they don't have alleyways. Yeah, they throw their trash in the street like just
Yeah.
trash people. I don't know. There's a better phrase, I'm sure. Better insult. Dirty trash people. Got them. What else? What else do they have? NHL. I have no idea. Their teams probably suck too. So hashtag I hate New York. Bring it back. The rivalry renewed. The Bulls up 1-0 on the season series. Cat is still a baby. That was unreal. He cried a lot.
He cried a lot. For having that
yeah.
many points, the guy still cried like he was spilling milk on his parents' floor.
He really was. I genuinely thought after he
Because of
knocked knees or whatever they were calling it with Lavine, it genuinely looked like he was about to cry on the bench. You know,
I'm surprised he got up so fast, even though it was clearly just a knee-to-knee, which, hey, it hurts. I know it hurts. It hurts really bad. But I thought he was going to go full Paul Pierce wheelchair after that one.
He wanted to. He absolutely wanted to, but the play kept going. So he's like, "Oh, I guess I'm okay enough to get up." And then as soon as it ended, he's like, "Oh, my knee." So
yeah,
classic Cat. Hope we can at least be competitive because it'd be fun to hate the Knicks later in the season as well. But yeah, I think that'll do it. Any final comments, Nick?
Cat's a pussy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep.
No, I don't have any final thoughts. Except I share the sentiment that I can't. I'm elated for the NBA Cup. I'm super pumped. What is it? The Emirates?
The Emirates NBA Cup 2024.
The Emirates NBA Cup 2024. Mm-hmm. Wow, that just
shout out the Emirates.
I think I have goosebumps.
Yeah. Yeah, they brand everything, every cup, every tournament in the world, especially soccer. That's a big one. If any soccer heads out there watching it, you always the Emirates, baby. That's them. Even though I'm wearing USA, I bleed Emirates red. I don't know what color they are. Yeah, but
disgusting, brothers. You guys like that? Any Succession fans out there in the zero people watching? So
it's got to be. Well, if anyone stuck around here, tell us your favorite thing about the Emirates. We love them. Emirates NBA Cup 2024. Go watch. Streaming maybe on the app. I don't know when that happens. So pay $20 a month. Watch the Bulls lose, and or win like they did tonight, and like they're going to against the winless in the Emirates. All right, I'm done with that. Whatever, everyone. The Bulls win. Bulls beat the Knicks. New York sucks. And
bing bong that.
Yeah. Suck it, New York. Take that. And yeah, thanks for seeing red with us, everyone. And yeah, make sure you tune in for Justin's live stream after the Cavs game. Thanks for running with us. See you guys.
See ya. Bye.